So you live in Holland, Ohio, and you're trying to find a great dog trainer. Well, you are in the right spot. We're going to walk through everything you need to know to feel really good about the choice you make for you and your furry friend. I mean, at the end of the day, what's the goal? It's pretty simple, right? You want a happy dog that you can just enjoy life with. So this guide is all about showing you how to find a pro who can help make that happen, right here in Holland.
All right, first up, training for life in Holland. Let's talk about setting your dog up for success, because it's about so much more than just sit and stay.
Just think about it for a second. Wouldn't it be great to take a quiet walk through your neighborhood without any pulling? Or to spend a busy day at Holland Community Park without any stress? That's what good training does. It turns those everyday things into genuinely great experiences with your dog.
Okay, next section. Let's get into the different methods and program formats out there. Finding the right fit is key, so we'll break down what's available.
So the most recommended method you're going to hear about is positive reinforcement. It's really a modern approach, and the idea is super simple. You reward the behaviors you want to see again, maybe with a treat or some praise. This builds so much trust and makes your dog actually want to learn, which is way better than them just listening because they're afraid. Now, when it comes to how the training is delivered, you'll probably see two main options: group classes and private sessions. Group classes, they're awesome for getting your dog used to other dogs and people. But if you're dealing with something specific, like say your dog goes nuts when the doorbell rings, a private session is going to be your best bet.
And hey, there are a few other options you might see. In-home coaching is exactly what it sounds like. The trainer comes to you. Day training can be a lifesaver if you've got a packed schedule. And then there are board and train programs, which are much more intensive, where your dog stays with the trainer for a period of time.
All right, this is a big one. How do you find a qualified professional? Let's go over what you should be looking for.
You know, something that's really important to understand is that Ohio doesn't have a state license for dog trainers. That means certifications are a huge deal. You want to look for things like CPD-TK. That's a really solid certification for general knowledge. If you're dealing with more complex issues, certifications from places like the IABC or CBCC are a great sign that the trainer has some specialized expertise.
And this is absolutely non-negotiable. You have to avoid any trainer who relies on fear, intimidation, or pain. Seriously, humane, reward-based methods are not just nicer, they're safer, and they actually work better in the long run. It's all about building a positive relationship, not a fearful one.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty: costs, rules, and local resources. These are the Holland essentials you'll need to know.
So let's talk money. As you can see here, the cost for dog training in Holland can really vary. Group classes are usually the most budget-friendly way to go. On the other end, you've got board and train programs, which are definitely a bigger financial commitment. This chart should give you a pretty good ballpark of what to expect.
Here's a super important local rule to know: 6 feet. In Holland, and actually all of Lucas County, your dog's leash can't be longer than 6 feet in public. It's a simple thing, but it's all about keeping everyone safe.
And just a few other key rules for being a responsible dog owner in the area. Your dog needs a current rabies vaccination. That's state law. They also have to be licensed with Lucas County. Oh, and something training really helps with: excessive barking, because that can actually be considered a public nuisance. So where can you go to practice all this stuff? Well, we've got some great local spots. Swan Creek Preserve Metro Park and Sidecut Metro Park are both fantastic. Their trails have just enough going on to provide some real-world practice for things like loose leash walking without being overwhelming.
Okay, we're at the final section. This is your checklist, the questions you absolutely need to ask any trainer you're considering.
First things first, ask about their training philosophy and what certifications they have. You want to hear them talk about positive reinforcement. And don't be shy about asking to see their credentials. A good trainer will be proud to share them. Next, you want to know how they'll tailor sessions specifically for your dog and your goals. Ask them what program format they'd recommend for you and why. This really shows if they're thinking about your individual situation or just offering a cookie-cutter plan.
Then there are the practical questions. How do you measure progress? What does success look like? And, of course, get all the financial details. What are the total fees, and what's the cancellation policy? You want to know all of that before you sign up.
And a couple more that really show you're talking to a true professional. For any behavior issues, ask if they're willing to collaborate with your veterinarian. That's a huge green flag. Also, ask what kind of homework you'll get between sessions, because let's be honest, the real work happens when you practice at home.
You know, finding the right trainer is such an important first step. A well-trained dog is an absolute joy to have at home, and they become a great neighbor around Holland too. I really wish you the best of luck as you start this journey with your dog.